It happens on a Tuesday morning. You try to log into Slack and your account is deactivated. 10 minutes later, the email hits your personal inbox. You are now part of the statistic, one of nearly 1 million Americans swept up in the massive layoff wave of 2025. When that reality settles in, your priorities shift instantly. The mortgage stays, the groceries stay, but that $4,000 invoice for season tickets, that's the first thing to go. The streaming bundle with 3 different sports packages, canceled. This is the nightmare scenario for the sports industry. For decades, teams operated on the arrogance that fandom was recession-proof, that you would skip a meal before you skipped a game. But that theory is colliding with a brutal economic reality. Fans have less discretionary income than ever, but teams are about to ask for more money than ever, and the fallout is going to be catastrophic. Let's look at the numbers, because this isn't a normal economic dip. According to Bloomberg data, we are seeing a fundamental restructuring of the American workforce. We aren't talking about risky tech startups imploding. We are talking about Amazon, UPS, and Target slashing thousands of roles. Intel and Meta are cutting staff not because they're broke, but to protect their margins. Back in 2021 and 2022, these companies engaged in labor hoarding, keeping unnecessary staff because hiring was so difficult. Today, that logic has flipped. Companies are dumping staff to avoid raising consumer prices, leaving the average worker with zero job security. Here is why this terrifies sports executives. The people losing their jobs are the exact people who buy tickets. We aren't seeing a blue-collar recession, we are seeing a white-collar purge. The middle manager making $120,000 a year. The person who buys the mid-tier season ticket package and the new jersey every season is the one in the crosshairs. When that income disappears, the reliable revenue streams for teams dry up overnight. These aren't casual fans, these are the whales that teams depend on for stability. We are already seeing the behavior change with something called subscription cycling. In the past, you signed up for cable and paid it for 20 years. Now, you treat sports like a light switch. Data shows that sports streaming churn hit 5.1% in Q2 of 2025 alone. The category is actually in a narrow recession, shrinking by 1% while other streaming sectors grow. But get this, 51% of viewers who subscribe to watch a specific sport now cancel their service the moment the season ends. They aren't sticking around for the off-season content or the analysis shows. They are in and out. They are treating the product like a utility, stripping away all the high-margin extras that media companies rely on. This is a disaster for revenue modeling. Leagues like the NBA and MLB are projecting growth based on the spending habits of 2023, a time when you might have kept a subscription just because you forgot to cancel it. That laziness is a luxury nobody can afford anymore. The average household is auditing every single dollar, and the nice-to-have sports expenses are being cut with ruthless efficiency. But if you think this drop in demand means teams are going to lower prices to help you out, you are dead wrong. In fact, they're about to do the exact opposite. And to understand why, you need to see the terrifying debt numbers they're hiding. Here is the uncomfortable truth about why ticket prices are skyrocketing while the economy slows down. Team owners are drowning in debt. You might look at a billionaire owner and assume they have endless cash reserves to ride out a recession, but the modern sports franchise is built on a mountain of leverage. During the pandemic, teams didn't just pause operations, they took out massive loans to keep the lights on. Now those bills are due. Look at Major League Baseball. The Texas Rangers and the Chicago Cubs are each carrying over $400 million in debt. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They are massive mortgage payments that must be made every single month, regardless of whether fans have jobs or not. This debt burden creates a desperate need for immediate cash flow, preventing any kind of price relief for the consumer. The situation gets significantly worse when you look at the collapse of the regional sports network model. For decades, teams relied on guaranteed TV money to cover their expenses. That safety net is gone. The Minnesota Twins, for example, saw their annual TV revenue drop by $40 million due to the bankruptcy of Diamond Sports Group. That is a $40 million hole in the budget that appeared almost overnight. In a normal business, you would cut costs to bridge that gap. But sports teams cannot cut their biggest expense. Player contracts are guaranteed. The average MLB payroll is sitting at $1,557 million, creating a terrifyingly high floor for expenses. A team cannot simply fire a star shortstop to save money the way Amazon fires a project manager. It's not just players either. The cost of travel, insurance, and operations has exploded. The baseline cost to simply open the stadium doors has never been higher. So caught between rising fixed costs and vanishing TV revenue, teams are adopting what insiders call the whale strategy. They are quietly pivoting their entire business model away from the average family of four. They know that the dad who just got laid off from Intel can't afford a $200 outing anymore, so they aren't even trying to sell to him. Instead, they are focusing entirely on corporate clients and luxury suite holders, entities that are insulated from the layoff wave. This is why new stadiums are being built with fewer total seats, but more social clubs and premium decks. They are trading volume for margin, betting that 10 corporate executives spending $5,000 are worth more than 100 regular fans spending $50. This creates a dangerous illusion of health. You will hear headlines about MLB generating a record $12.1 billion in revenue, and it sounds like everything is fine. But revenue is not profit. When you factor in the debt service and the skyrocketing operational costs, many of these teams are operating at a loss or on razor-thin margins. They are cash poor but asset rich, desperate for liquidity, and since they can't squeeze any more blood from the corporate whales, they are inventing creative new ways to tax the die-hard fans who refuse to leave. If you are one of the fans who survives the layoffs and keeps watching, you are about to pay a fragmentation tax that is silently draining your bank account. 10 years ago, being a fan was simple. You paid one cable bill and you got every game. Today, that ecosystem has been shattered into expensive shards. To watch a single team's full season now, you might need a subscription to Amazon Prime for Thursday nights, Peacock for exclusive playoff games, ESPN Plus for out-of-market matchups, and Apple TV Plus for Friday night doubleheaders. You aren't just paying for content anymore, you are paying for the privilege of navigating a broken maze. The cost of being a complete fan has doubled, even as the product remains the same. The streaming services know you are frustrated, and they are penalizing you for it. Because 51% of subscribers cancel their service when the season ends, these companies are aggressively hiking prices to extract a full year's worth of revenue from just 6 months of loyalty. Prices for these services are rising by roughly 9% annually, far outpacing inflation. They are effectively punishing the loyal fans to subsidize the ones who churn. This is why the sports streaming sector is shrinking while costing more. The business model is broken, and the only fix they have is to reach deeper into your pocket. It is a cynical calculation. They know you won't cancel before the Super Bowl or the World Series, so they hold your fandom hostage. But the aggression is even worse when you try to go to a game in person. Teams have weaponized dynamic pricing, using artificial intelligence to adjust ticket prices in real time based on demand. In the past, a ticket had a face value. Now, if the team goes on a winning streak or a rival comes to town, the team effectively scalps its own tickets before you even have a chance to buy them. They are capturing every cent of consumer surplus, ensuring that there are no good deals left in the stadium. And look at what is happening to the physical seats. The affordable upper deck sections are vanishing. Teams are renovating stadiums to remove thousands of cheap seats, replacing them with premium-only standing room clubs and high-margin social spaces. They are physically engineering the building to exclude the budget-conscious fan. They know that for the 18 to 34 demographic, sports isn't just entertainment, it's a primary social outlet. They are leveraging that psychological need, betting that you will pay the hidden tax because the alternative is social isolation. They are counting on your addiction to the game to override your financial common sense. This is the toxic cycle we are trapped in. Layoffs crush the average fan's spending power, while debt forces teams to raise prices, pushing the sport further out of reach for the working class. The average fan is becoming an endangered species, replaced by corporate accounts and tourists. It works for now, but if you price out the 20-somethings today, you destroy the season ticket base of 2035. The sports bubble hasn't popped yet, but the needle is already in the arm. Subscribe to Revenue Racers to see which league collapses first.